Questions and answers. Your host, Adrian Lee.
Oh, yes indeed, there are more questions than answers. Like, is the best thing about wanting a chameleon as a pet the fact that you may already have one?
Yeah.
Who knows? You don't know these things, do you? Do you think that would give you problems, searching for that?
No.
Would that be reptile dysfunction? Just saying, straight off the bat. Oh, double bell. And we haven't got through the first minute yet. Hi America, hello world. My name is Adrian Lee and I am your host. Welcome to the show, More Questions Than Answers, the only paranormal quiz show anywhere in the world. Each week my guests and I will search the world's newspapers, websites and TV shows just for you, to bring you the very best in paranormal talk radio entertainment and enlightenment. We will then test each other's knowledge of the week's events of the mysterious, strange, supernatural, unusual, bizarre, and just plain weird. If you have just tuned in especially to hear the show, then I admire your taste. If you have just tuned in by accident, then I admire your luck. I am huddled under my quilt with a large flashlight and a nice cup of tea with tonight's guests, somewhere in the barren wildernesses of the Midwest Plains, with the sound of my elderly mother snoring distantly from the room next door. Each week we press our ear against the bedroom wall. Whatever my mother listens to before she goes to bed picks and pulls on her unconscious mind, and that's the very tune she snores. Let's have a listen tonight. You must have that. Surely you must have that.
Safety dance.
Oh. You don't recognise Ghostbusters? Listen.
No, it's not working.
How do you not know that? What about, I'd give you a second go, right? Because I'm feeling philanthropic. Second go. Based on where we're investigating, at this very moment in time, at the weekend, what's this?
Superman theme.
Ooh. It's amazing the tunes you can play on this, isn't it? Look, it's only got one...
One orifice.
Wow, I'm squeezing entire octaves out of this pig. Quite remarkable. See? Musical background. That was, in fact, the theme from Superman, but busting does make me feel good, and we'll chat in a little while about why Superman is so important to this weekend. So snuggle under your covers, turn out your lights and hold on tight. The rules are very simple. Points will be awarded randomly for being interesting or for making me laugh or shiver in horror. Extra points will be available for shock and or value. To help me control my rowdy panel of recidivists and reprobates, I will employ what I have called the inappropriate bell. An example of this would be... The panel have no idea what's coming. I have no idea what stories they have for tonight's show, so let me introduce my guests. Firstly, the mysterious and effervescent Heather Morris. She's been a paranormal investigator for many years with her own team called Hellhound Investigations and does all of her best work in the shadows. She is now one of the leading audio and EVP experts with the International Paranormal Society and brings her knowledge and research skills to tonight's show. Heather realised this week that generating all of our electricity from solar power isn't going to happen overnight.
No.
I love this show. Welcome to the show, Miss Morris. You having a good week?
Yes.
Enjoying the sun?
No.
The summer. You're not enjoying the sun.
Nope.
You're the only person in Minnesota who's not enjoying the sun.
Hate it.
It's your vampire ways, isn't it?
Yes.
Look at your light eyes. Look at your sharp teeth.
Yep.
You just want to be indoors in the darkness, don't you?
Yes.
Hiding away from the rays of the sunlight
Yeah.
for fear of burning your
terrible.
skin.
It's gross.
You have vampire Swedish heritage. A town in America has just banned, this is a true story, has just banned solar panels because they thought it would use up all the energy from the sun. 100% true. This is why we can't have nice things, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that in Iowa?
I have no idea. I'll have to do some more research, but I
I
did
was just
read that.
wondering.
And like they get any sunshine as well. Surely you'd pick a sunshine state, wouldn't you, at this point? I'm guessing for 6 months of the year in Minnesota and Iowa, there's no electricity being made. Only making that assumption. I also wish to introduce the man and crazy Michelle Corrie. She was born and raised in Mora, Minnesota, and has a keen and avid interest in all things paranormal. Michelle now sends X-ray pictures to her fans instead of selfies because it's what's on the inside that counts.
It is.
Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you.
I am loving, and buried in my room in Minnesota, your raspberry beret.
Thank you.
Where did you find that? In some sort of second-hand store?
I did.
You did. That's fantastic. I love it.
Cliche.
Superman inherited his X-ray ability from his family. He was under parental supervision.
God.
Wow, they're mad, they're bad. And they are paranormal. I believe this is season 4. Well, I know that to be true. That's a fact. I believe this is episode 35. We're galloping through them again, aren't we? Can you believe episode 35 of series 4? And if you want to catch up on all of our episodes going back 8-9 years, we're close to like 350, or did we break 400? I can't even remember. There's a lot of episodes in the last 8 to 9 years. You can go onto YouTube, search for more questions and answers with Adrian Lee, but you can find us on Stitcher, TuneIn. Which other ones have we got?
Skin tag.
Skin Tag Radio, that's very popular. Thank you for interjecting that, Michelle. That
You're
was
welcome.
invaluable. And all kinds of platforms. SoundCloud, if you search for MQTA Radio, everything's on there for you. I will mention that we're going out at this very moment in time in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis, St. Paul. We start at 9 o'clock Central Time, but you can find us on any device if you stream us. If you go to mcn6.org at 9 p.m. Central Time, you can stream us on your iPad, your iPhone, any phone, TVs, your laptop. You can find us anywhere in the world, and people have done that because we have 100,000 followers in 190 countries all over the world. But we're not finished there. By Jove, or by Jiminy, no. Let me tell you that right now, at this very minute, very existential, very Buddhist, we have a live watch party. If you go to Facebook at this very second, search for more questions and answers with Adrian Lee. I'm about to embark on a quiz. It's a lack of general knowledge if you've never seen the show before. And you can play along at home. You can pit your wits against all our other followers. We have lots of people telling jokes. There's gift wars. There's people flirting. All kinds of crazy things are happening on Facebook right now. If you go on there, play along and try and answer the questions with our followers and supporters. There are several things I need to bring up before we jump into our quiz. Very important things. We have missed the last 3 weeks of shows. Now, we've been very busy. I've actually had 2 books released in that time. How many people can say they've had 2 books released in the course of a 3-week period? So obviously, I'm very busy. And it's the books that I make my living from. I am an author. That's what pays for the groceries and the mortgage. So our apologies for not having a show out in the last couple of weeks. It just isn't, there isn't enough time. At some point something has to fall on the back of the fact that you've got 2 or 3 books published in that time, which is a unique situation, by the way, plus all of the other work that we do, the expos, the events, the films we're directing, the albums we're producing. We have many strings to our bow. I do want to draw your attention to this. This is my author's copy. This is the latest book. It is called A Vampire Lost in Minnesota. I'll give you a big close-up of that. There's Nosferatu's vampire there with a little shadow. And, of course, it's Minnesota, Minneapolis, so there's a giant pink flamingo that you'll be familiar with if you live in these parts. And there's also the cherry on the spoon, the famous piece of modern artwork there, with a big bite taken out of the cherry. This is my latest book. If you wish to get a copy, you can go onto Amazon. It's available for you on there. I've already had 4 or 5 stunningly good reviews, all 5 out of 5 stars if you're interested in that. I'm going to read just for a little bit here the back of the book so you get an idea of what it's about. It says, join an ancient British vampire just trying to get by and overcomes life's obstacles in Minnesota. His 1-year mission is to gain reconnaissance to assist in the total and complete domination of the New World. But what exactly is the best way to go about achieving said domination? Minnesota is a mysterious land, proving it could always be worse since 1858. A land so cold that locals fart snowflakes, and Accordion Hero is the best-selling video game. So if you're interested, A Vampire Lost in Minnesota, that's my latest book, literally came out last week. If you watch the show What We Do in the Shadows, have you seen this, ladies? Do you like that show?
Love it.
Matt Berry's a hero, isn't he?
Yes.
What part of that show do you like the best? If you've not seen What We Do in the Shadows, is that on Amazon? Is it Netflix?
FX.
FX. You need to find that particular show. It's 3 ancient Eastern European vampires, and they're struggling with modern life in Staten Island, New York. And originally, of course, it was a film from New Zealand. Mm-hmm. Do you like this film? You say you like
love it.
Favourite part, favourite bit?
All of it.
Yeah,
All
I
of
saw
it.
that helps me enormously. Thank you, ladies. I can't even get a sip of water, can I? So if you're interested in that type of show, imagine that being set in Minnesota, and that is my latest book. But we are not finished. We have lots of other exciting things taking place. You may have recognised the fact, because we've pre-recorded this show in the middle of the week for you to watch on Saturday, because we're not here on Saturday. We are currently doing a paranormal investigation in a small town called Metropolis in Illinois. I brought my team with me, the International Paranormal Society. Why would Metropolis be an important place, do you think?
Because it's super.
It is super, and there are men there. This is 2 things you need to put together. There is a small town called Metropolis. You can look it up on the map. It's on the edge of Illinois. We are currently doing a paranormal investigation in Metropolis, and there's lots of famous people in and around that area. So first of all, you may have caught this already, because yesterday we did some live streaming from Iowa when we did a little investigation and a walkthrough of Wyatt Earp's house that he grew up in when he was a small child in Pella near Des Moines. And then we live streamed in a fabulous haunted Gothic building in Metropolis that had Edison actually doing the electrics in person in that building, and Tesla put the generator in. 2 people at the top there of their game. I understand they got on very well and liked each other enormously.
Yeah.
Then either side of this show, we're doing live streaming of our investigation in the Superman Museum in Metropolis. And if you know anything about Superman, there was a very strange and mysterious death surrounding George Reeves, who played Superman in the 1950s. And if you go on the Hollywood tours, when you get on the little bus and they show you all the murders and the mysteries of Hollywood, his house is one of the ones that you get taken to, because he was shot in the head, and they don't know whether it was a suicide, whether the mafia were involved, whether he was murdered, whether there was a lover he was seeing. All of these things were alleged. We are going to ask him, because they have artifacts that belong to George Reeves in the museum. So directly after this show, if you go to More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee on Facebook, we will live stream our paranormal investigation from the Superman Museum in Metropolis, and we'll talk to George Reeves and find out how he died. I'd watch that.
I'd watch it.
This is a joy. It makes me very happy. So all of those things are there for you. But as always, we have the Martin-sponsored X-ray vision gong of infinite knowledge with the kryptonite of facts and the Lois Lane selfies of statistics. Stand back, ladies.
Martin.
Thank you, Martin.
You are ready to play along at home, I assume. So, on this day in 1876... bananas were introduced to the US at the Centennial Expo in Philadelphia. A fan of bananas? Do you like the banana? It's inoffensive, isn't it? It comes with its own packaging. You're not a fan of bananas? You couldn't sit here now and eat a banana. Do you like banana milkshake, banana ice cream, banana cake,
No.
banana split?
No.
You just don't like bananas.
No.
Fan of bananas?
It's all right.
It's all right. tell you what, I'm just going to have a drink and there'll be dead air. So let's just sit in silence for a minute because they're not going to give me any answers.
Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
There was a gentleman called Banana Man in Britain. He was in the Nutty comic. He was. Talking about Superman, if you look this up, there was a children's cartoon and a comic book, and my sister used to get this comic as a kid, and there was genuinely Banana Man. His name was Eric Wimp, and whenever he ate a banana, he was a school kid, he turned into Banana Man. 100% true. Guess who Banana Man's arch villain was? Any thoughts, any suggestions?
Monkey Man.
What man? Monkey Man?
Orange boy.
Well, you're getting close. It was Apple Man.
Apple Man.
Apple Man was his arch nemesis. If you get a chance to see this cartoon, go onto YouTube, search for
And
Banana
don't.
Man. It was very funny. It was very comedic. It was a cartoon, and Banana Man genuinely exists. It started out with like, Eric Wimp is a mild-mannered schoolboy, but when he eats a banana, and so forth. Very, very entertaining. But yes, on this very day in 1876, bananas were introduced to the US at the expo that happened there in Philadelphia. I told my grandmother, I don't know whether you have this, obviously you've never experienced this because you don't like bananas. In Britain, the banana sandwich is a common occurrence. You would slice your banana, stick it between two bits of bread with a bit of butter, and you would have a banana sandwich. Have you discussed such things over here? Have you had such
No.
wonders? Do you know those Breville sandwich toasters where you put the bread on it? It's the sort of thing you keep at the back of your cupboard. You forget about it for 2 years. You find it. You then have an entire week where you have every type of sandwich known to man. Tuna, banana, everything. And then you put it back and leave it for another 2 years. Do you know the type of thing? Bananas in a Breville sandwich maker. Fantastic. Very good. But yes, banana sandwiches are a thing. They happen in Britain. I told my grandmother when I was a child I liked banana sandwiches. So every time I went to my grandparents' house, my grandmother made me banana sandwiches. It got to the point where I had to tell her, and she was quite sad about this, that even though I like banana sandwiches, it wasn't necessarily something I wanted to eat every single time I went over there. And she looked heartbroken. It just destroyed her world. So I continued eating banana sandwiches. For your points this evening, the scientific name for the banana, if you tell me this, you can have 1,000 points. Never been seen before in the history of MQTA. What is the scientific name for a banana?
Long fruit.
Yes, but it needs to be in Latin, ideally, doesn't it? Longus frutiarus.
Yes.
That was a stripper I think I met in Latin, Italy once. The name of the banana, scientifically, pay attention ladies and gentlemen, is Mqta sapientum. So Mqta sapientum. And for your points tonight, if you tell me what that means, you shall win various rewards in the points department. So you need to tell me in Latin what Mqta sapientum means to win tonight's points on everything you need to know about the history of bananas, but was afraid to ask. Mqta sapientum. Sounds like an exorcism, doesn't it? You're
Big
standing, there's a
nose.
child on the bed vomiting pea green soup, and you're over her going, Archangele, defend us in pralio.
Big
Mqta
nose.
sapientum. What are you saying? Mintos.
Big nose.
Big nose. So look at your sapientum. That's your nose, is it?
Yep.
Because you think of septum, haven't you?
Sure.
The little bit of gristle that separates your nostrils there that lots of people in the 1960s lost through snorting cocaine and had to get it rebuilt. I think Joe Cocker was one individual that had to have that done, but I'm not casting aspersions. You are saying big nose. Anything you'd like to add to that, Michelle? Mqta sapientum is your banana. Sapientum.
Monkey
Mqta.
fruit.
It's a monkey fruit. Well, I'm going to give you a point because you got the word fruit. So you will win tonight's first point. There's no big and there's no nose involved, but literally it means fruit of the wise man. I can't believe you never got it. Fruit of the wise man. There you go. A banana that gets all the girls, of course, is a banana smoothie. I love this show. Points will be won because it's going to be the closest person wins. See how that works. The genetic similarity between a human and a banana is what percentage? How close are we to the banana?
13%.
Depends on
Let
the
me
person.
let me blindfold you, and we'll see how close you can get to the banana. Pin the tail on the banana. What are you saying, Morris?
13.
13, 1 3. I don't want to be
Yes.
accused of, getting things wrong. And
3%.
so we started out at 13. We've dropped down to 3.
Yeah.
We're 3% banana, is what you're saying. Which percentage would that be?
Or a
at?
banana is 3% human.
Wow. Yes, I've met some Americans that would strike me as being like that. It's very interesting. People think bananas grow downwards, but they actually grow up in bunches, if you recall such wonders. Do you remember reading those horror stories about people in the grocery store finding tarantulas hiding in their bananas? We have Belize as a Commonwealth country. We have a lot of army bases in Belize, in Central America. So a lot of our bananas come from Belize, of course, because that's a country that's part of the Commonwealth, and we trade with our Commonwealth countries. But the Belize banana is very popular in Britain. I will tell you where your bananas come from very shortly, because that's the next question. Morris has gone for 3%. She thinks humans are 3% genetically the same as a banana. Your choice is to go higher or lower. You're going lower. You're going lower than 3%. So that's 1, 2, or 0. Well, pick one.
0.05.
You think we're 0.05 banana, do you? You are way off. I will give you more chances because, you're not even in the same ballpark. It's right up there.
13%.
You're now going for 13.
Yeah.
Michelle, which would you pick now?
37.
What's with all the 3s? I am going to have to give you your points. I'll give you 1 point each because on the first guess, Morris was closest. And on the second guess, Michelle was closest. So I shall give you a couple of nice banana split points. 2 banana skins is a pair of slippers, of course. I'm just making this up as I go along. Would you believe, stand back in amazement, that we are 60% banana? Oh, it's true. We are 60% genetically the same as a banana.
No.
It's 100% true. You can look all this stuff up. We are 60%. You don't want to be 60% a banana? I can edge you a little further up if you want, if that helps.
Whoa.
Cheeky. It is 100% true. We are 60% genetically the same as a banana. And you can look this stuff up. It's out there. I've done research. I'm not making this up. It's 100% true. I don't think genetics works in my family, though, because they're all ugly.
Oh.
Where? Oh, my mum's going to stop watching. I love this show. I love this show. Where is the only state in America that bananas are grown? There. Where do you get your bananas from, madam? There's little stickers on them. I know people that collect the little stickers from the bananas. They have scrapbooks full of them. So where would your sticker be if you were getting bananas from this country, Morris?
Georgia.
The devil went down to Georgia.
Or Florida.
So in amongst all the peach trees and the orange trees,
Yep.
they're growing bananas.
Yes.
She's picked 2 states, which seems a little unfair, but she went for the warm ones, which makes sense. Let me tell you right now to give you a clue, they're not growing bananas in North Dakota. Let me just put that out there. If that takes 1 away, you now have 49 to choose
Hawaii.
from. Let madam have a go. Jesus.
It's got to be Hawaii.
Morris has gone with Georgia, Florida, and Hawaii. That leaves you at least 12 southern states to pick.
Mississippi.
Mississippi, go on.
Alabama. And
New
California.
Mexico. California, here I come. Well, let me tell you that they used to grow bananas in Florida and California, but they don't do that anymore. And I also found out through my research that the original bananas that your grandparents would have eaten don't exist anymore. There was a make of banana, and it was the one that was sold all over the world. But some sort of disease and fungus killed all them off. So the bananas we eat aren't the bananas that our grandparents would have eaten. They're a different strain of banana that don't get affected. They're human bananas. It's people. They're eating people. Soylent Green, by the way, that film was meant to be in 2021, wasn't it? It's happening now.
It is.
We're eating people through bananas. Mm-hmm. It pains me to say this. Morris has won herself some points. It is Hawaii. They're growing all that volcanic ash, hot weather, lovely conditions, perfect for growing bananas. Morris is up to a rather volcanic, lather-filled, magma spewing 4 points. But Hawaii is where we grow bananas in America. Remember, if you burn your Hawaiian pizza, you need a lower temperature.
No. Mm-mm.
Do you like Hawaiian pizzas? A fan of the Hawaiian pizza? You like pineapple on that, do you?
Yep.
No.
So a yes and a no? So if we're going to be buying ourselves a pizza, then you're going to do half and half. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I love pineapple on pizza.
It's gross.
I discovered, though, recently that I have an allergic reaction to pineapples. I just think in large amounts. I bought myself a pineapple and I ate it, and then my lips suddenly swelled up, and I was like, I look like Mick Jagger. So perhaps it's the amount of pineapple you eat. I think in small amounts I should be okay, but if you're forcing a whole pineapple down me, I'm going to get rubber lips. Is what's going to
force it up you.
Wow, so I get the rough end of the pineapple. It's not very friendly, is it?
Both
Do you know any
ends.
facts about bananas you'd like to share with me for some extra points? Anything you'd like to chip in with on the banana front before we press on? No
You
facts
should
about...
be peeling it from the butt first.
Who told you that?
You can smoke weed out of one.
There's 2 ideas. Wow. What I was trying to aim for was the fact that bananas actually float in water because they're less dense than water. So you can, in actuality, get a banana float. That does exist. They're considered to be a berry, if you're interested in those things. Berries
I thought they were an herb.
Ah. Well, you're 100% correct. The banana plant is the biggest herb in the world. It is actually a herb. And
Points.
the fruit of the herb
Now,
is the berry. You want a couple of points for knowing that a banana is the largest herb in the world, do you?
thank you.
Mike got me a banana slicer.
And you don't like bananas? He's a mean son of a... Isn't he? Do you not think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mean. Your brother bought you a banana slicer knowing...
Use it for hot dogs.
Well,
Well,
is it transferable? Can
He
you...
was mad because the banana slicer is for right-hand bananas and all his was left-hand.
He only had left-handed bananas. I see how that could work. I thought for the longest time that they used to paint them yellow on the boats and bend them over their knees. Because I saw them straight and green when I was a kid, and I thought, well, there's someone painting them up and bending them over their knees, right? But you had a right-handed or a left-handed banana slicer. You're ambidextrous in your banana slicing. The fact that he gave you that as a gift, knowing you don't like bananas, is incredibly mean. And we'll get back to him on that. Well, at the end of the banana round, Michelle's on 3, Heather's on 6, and I am yet to score. On this day in 1864, the Battle of Piedmont took place in Virginia as part of the U.S. Civil War. Been to Virginia? Do you like Virginia? That's the Smoky Mountains round there, isn't it? All that area. Appalachians. Fabulous area. So for the first time in the history of MQTA radio, I cannot believe that strange, bizarre and fascinating facts about Virginia. I believe named after the Virgin Queen, Elizabeth I.
Yes.
We had a lot of the US states, didn't we, that we named after kings and queens. Nobody knows this, but North and South Carolina is named after Carolinus, which is the Latin name for King Charles. Charles I, of course. And then Charles II, his son, followed him. But there are states named after kings and queens in this country. Feeling confident about the laws of Virginia?
No,
You are not allowed to wash this on the sidewalk in Virginia.
your underwear.
You are not allowed to dobie out your underwear on the sidewalk in Virginia. What if you was doing that in the privacy of your own cul-de-sac?
Sure.
I
Or
can
your
see.
dog.
Oh, wow. You don't give Michelle a chance, do you? Come up with 3 or 4 answers. You spread your chips liberally. I'll have black and red, please, as the ball whizzes around the roulette wheel. What are your choices so far? Underwear and dogs.
Yep.
Both of which you are not allowed to wash on the sidewalk,
Nope.
according to Miss Morris.
Nope. Your bicycle as well.
So she's going dogs, underwear and bicycle in Virginia.
Yep.
You have everything else that's left in the world, Michelle. I will tell you that she hasn't got the right answer.
Oh.
So you have everything to play for.
Here, horse.
Okay, you can choose horse, yeah.
Here, trombone.
You're not allowed to wash your trombone.
Or your mom.
You're not allowed to wash your mum, your trombone. What an evening that was. Wow, we still talk about that.
That's why it's a law now.
Let's go with a smaller version of a horse and you can win your points. How's that?
Mule.
Donkey.
Wow. You say donkey, you say
Mule.
it's a mule. You're not allowed to wash your mule or your ass, in effect, on the sidewalk in Virginia. If you wash your mule, then you're going to Chino. You're going to do a dime. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 collars. You're going to get fined. You're going to end up. You're a lifer basically. If you're scrubbing your mule, if you're scrubbing your ass, you are going to get into a lot of trouble. At least he's not washing his male chicken. That would be terrible.
Terrible.
But the points are available. Michelle has climbed her way up to a rather respectable and squeaky clean 5. You're not allowed to spit on this animal in Norfolk, Virginia. What would
Chicken.
be an animal you'd want to spit at, do you think? You are saying chicken
chicken.
straight off the bat. Do not spit on my chicken, madam.
Two.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Two,
the
two, two.
chicken spitting police coming to arrest you
Norfolk.
because they've been a stool pigeon and they've told the police, I saw him spitting on a chicken.
Or your cat.
Cat, chicken, no spitting at chickens or cats.
Cockroaches.
Cockroaches. You think there's laws in place to stop people being mean to cockroaches, do you?
Yes.
Again, she's failed to get the right answer. It's just not there, you know. So you have a whole cornucopia of, and I will tell you it's an animal, and a whole cornucopia of animals to choose from. Think of Noah's Ark.
Doves.
Ooh, okay, we're going to go avian. It is avian, but it's
Pigeons.
not doves. Keep going. Pigeons.
Ducks.
Ducks. What else?
Swans.
Geese.
Mice. No flying mice. Is it
Eagles.
eagles or seagulls?
Seagulls.
It is seagulls.
Stop
Michelle,
it now.
you're not allowed to spit at seagulls in Virginia. And up to 7, which was rather impressive. All of this is true. If a seagull flies over the bay, would that be a bagel? Just things that keep me up awake at night. A bagel, that would be. But you're now in the lead by 1 point. Well done, Miss Corrie. You're not allowed to do this to decide who buys coffee in Richmond, Virginia. So imagine we've had a coffee, right? We're sat there. We've drained our coffee. This would never happen, by the way, because I can't bear coffee. It gives me a blinding headache and gives me the shakes. I'd rather have a cup of tea. But theoretically, we're in Richmond, Virginia. We've spent an hour in the coffee shop. We've drained our espresso. We've drained our mocha. We're down to the dregs. I say, I'd like to buy this. And you say, no, I'd like to buy this. The way which we decide this coffee, who's buying it, is illegal. And it's only specifically for coffee for some reason. I don't know why. It's transferable. Could be anything, really.
Dueling pistols.
Dueling pistols. Turn your back. Take 10 paces. I told you it was instant. No dueling pistols. How are we deciding who buys the coffee in Richmond? Oh, I like the idea of arm wrestling.
Paper, rock, scissors.
Paper. Let's do paper, rock, scissors now.
No.
1, 2,
I'm not,
3.
Nope, I don't care.
Why not? You're not playing. World Championship, live, stone, scissors, paper. So we go 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yes. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ha!
Michelle's won.
With a finger?
With a finger.
Pencil.
It's a what?
Pencil.
You went pencil.
Yeah.
That isn't in paper, rock, scissors.
You've broken the rules, so you're instantly out. This is how this works. You're not even playing with a full deck. Do you not think the clue's in the name of rock, scissors, paper, pencil?
There's a pencil.
Sits between me and Morris on the fact that you've defaulted your go through being a male donkey. Are you ready, Morris? This is England
Yeah.
v Britain. This is men against women. Everything's to play for here. There's a weight of expectation hanging on my shoulders of an entire continent at this point and gender. So everything is to play for. Don't you give me the pencil finger. On the fourth go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Bugger.
We were going to do it.
Bugger. See,
Well-
scissors cuts pencil.
Wow. Don't confuse me. This show's already difficult for me to get me worms out. So typically, in very British style, I finished 36th, but I'll get a round of applause because I have shattered my personal best. America and women win this particular round, but don't worry, we'll do some training. I'll lumber up. I'll do some preparation. We'll be back stronger and better next year. I'll get you a medal in the meantime. We still haven't decided how this is illegal. How would you decide who pays for the coffee in Virginia? You are 100% correct. You are not allowed to flip a coin to decide who has to pay. How do these laws come about? You're up to 9, by the way, which is a hefty score at this stage. You know your bananas, don't you, sweetheart?
Double-sided coins.
Double-sided coins. Or heads I win, tails you lose. They're mad, they're bad, they're paranormal. This was then, that was then. We're in the round that we love the best. It is the mailbag.
I love the mailbag.
We love the mailbag. Let me read you some of this week's
Oh,
messages of support. On Facebook, if you wish to write to us, Facebook, more questions than answers is what's required. You can send me a sentence and I will read it out for you. Lisa and John, our good friends,
Hello.
hi guys.
who live in Buffalo Lake in Minnesota. Lisa has written, thank you for all the laughs. That helped brighten a sad day for me. I can always get a great laugh from watching you all.
Loves you, Lisa.
Love you guys.
And John.
And the happy warm glow that America and women have won in the Stone Scissor Paper competition.
Pencil.
Deanna, also a great follower and supporter
Hello,
of the
Deanna.
show.
Anna.
Thinking of you. And thank you for another fun-filled show with plenty of laughs and making my night with your messed up platforms. I think Skin Tag would be one of them, wouldn't it? We threw in there earlier. You make Saturday nights so much fun. So thank you for that. Now, Vicky has been very patient. She's a very patient lady. She sent us a parcel many weeks ago, but due to the fact that we haven't had a show for a number of weeks due to my publishing career and ghost hunting and everything else that's got in the way, Michelle having a baby and all kinds of crazy things. So, Vicky's been very patient. She has sent us a parcel. We are now going to unwrap our parcel. So I need to go down to my right-hand side. The ladies, are you a tear it off all in one go, or you pick at the corners type of person? Pick at the
Well,
corner.
you might as well start.
Get in there, girl, while I'm currently taking the
Quit
box off.
talking. Shh. It's quiet time, Lee.
It's Prezi time.
Yeah. Michelle's got hers going home. What you
It's
got?
50 Shades of Grey. It's a pair of tights.
What is it?
Oh, keep going.
Do
It's
it.
sexy
do it now.
lingerie. There. It's better than Deanna, who normally sends me
Pencils.
bags of weed and tells me it's tea.
Go. Rip it.
I'm trying.
This
Rip
show
it.
finishes in 20 minutes.
I knows.
She's in. She's
Oh
got
my
it.
goodness gracious.
Oh, wow.
What is it?
Oh.
It's a knitting set. She's got knitting.
What is it?
They're pens, aren't they?
Yeah.
Show the boys and girls at home what you've got for your dinner.
Oh.
You have paper clips, cat sticky notes, and a whole series of pens.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Victoria.
I love
That's
this.
Very impressive. Heather Morris has got a...
A little voodoo doll.
It's a voodoo doll.
Oh.
Do you know, my neck and my knees have been hurting recently.
Is that it?
Could you, like, take a little bit off the stuffing out of the middle? That would help me enormously.
You mean off of this part?
Remove
Isn't
some
it
of the,
already gone?
Yeah, just remove some of the
That's
stuffing.
below the waist, though.
Wow. We don't want anything removed down there. I'm going to unwrap mine now.
Look at this. I loves it. I'm going to take him out and
These
put
are
his
cat
knee.
paper clips.
That's
What is?
that's a sticky tape dispenser, and it's a little man sitting on the toilet.
Oh my God,
I
that's
love
awesome.
it.
Fantastic stationery
Look
supplies.
at
There's paper
him.
clips,
So
there's a
cute.
pen. Obviously, I need to be better organised, is what
Look
the
at
suggestion is
him.
there. I have an envelope. Let me read.
Look at thee.
Oh my, it literally is a little voodoo man.
And I'm gonna
Take
get
some of the
pins
stuffing
out.
out the middle of that for me.
I'm going to get the pins.
We have a
out.
card that says you are a sparkly gem in a world full of dumb rocks.
Oh.
Thank you for entertaining me. Love and hugs, Vicky. That's very
Aw,
kind of you.
Vicky.
She's written, Heather, I thought you could use this when Adrian frustrates you.
Absolutely. It's going to happen.
She's literally got the pins out now.
Yep.
I haven't even finished the show and she's sticking them in. Look at that.
There's a lot.
Michelle, I know you have a cat.
Yep.
Also, you can use these to help you get and act things out. So you can act things out with those, apparently.
Yes.
Adrian, you really enjoy bathroom jokes. I don't know where you got that from. I need something to keep your pen from rolling away. Sorry, it's not the lady parts that you talk about on Not For Your Mother. We shouldn't discuss Not For Your Mother. Not while we're still on air. We'll get removed. But if you tune into our show, after we've finished broadcasting, we do an extra 20 minutes of rudeness called Not For Your Mother when everyone else isn't listening. What are you doing? Ah! Oh! God, that's like someone squeezing a Jif lemon in my eye. Take that. What are you... Oh! God, that's another eye I've got a problem with. Look at that. Oh, no.
He went hard.
Oh, man.
I'll
Hey,
save this
what's wrong
one for
with you?
the Not For Your
Oh,
Mother.
jeez.
Wow. Oh. Laugh it up.
I am.
Shocking. Thank you, Vicky, I think. We're not quite sure how the rest of the evening's going to play. I've got a really itchy nose at the moment.
Oh, who's thinking of you?
I think that's a spirit. Stop putting pins in me. Nothing more fun than voodoo, is there? What could possibly go wrong? Miss Morris, would you like to tell our beautiful, aesthetically pleasing viewers how they can access the show and spend $1 of their money to see the Not For Your Mother section?
Well, what you can do is you can go on to patreon.com and search for MQTA Radio. And you can help support us in all of our platforms. What you'll get there, for $1 an episode, you will be the first and probably only from here on out to hear the Not For Your Mother section, as I think we're moving that strictly to Patreon, and all of the free stuff will be on SoundCloud, like what you would hear on MCN6. But you can also get unaired shows, some special plays.
There are plays. There are all kinds of fun things on
Yeah,
there. So if you wish to
lots of
donate
fun
$1 to the show, you get a lot for your $1. Stop messing around with my ear. Look at you. Don't look like Hellraiser over there right now.
I know.
Shockingly bad. We're also available on YouTube. If you wish to see the show at any time, go to More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee. We're all over YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel. Morris mentions SoundCloud. MQTA Radio is the way to go. You can listen in the car, in the gym, walking the dog, mowing the grass. I have books out. If you go to Amazon, search for Adrian Lee. A couple of my books have been in the charts recently. My Dakota War book got to #1 in the Amazon charts. Everything's going very successful. If you wish to have a nice summer read, everything's on there for you. And remember, after this show, if you go over to Facebook, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee, you can see live stream investigations with my team, with Heather Morris, Scott, Gloria and Karen. We're doing an investigation currently in the Superman Museum in Metropolis in Illinois, hoping to find and talk to the ghost of George Reeves to find out how he died. So you can join us on there for a live stream investigation after this show as well. What more could you possibly want? For you finished with that? Have you run out of pins, haven't you, is what's happened
No,
there?
I just saved more for later.
Why have I got one in the banger and beans? Look at that, you've got it in the banger and both beans.
I know.
We now move on to the round that we call Ghosts and Hauntings. And remember, we do not do orbs. A video from supposedly haunted hotel shows a child's ball rolling across the bedroom floor as other items shift involuntarily. I did an investigation many years ago. If you read my book Mysterious Minnesota, we did an investigation at the Mounds Theatre in Eastside St. Paul, and there was the story of a ball being bounced and slapped on the stage. A little girl bounced a ball around. We brought a ball with us. We set it up as a trigger object, and the temperature changed within 20 degrees of putting this ball on and asking the girl to interact with it. There are photographs in the book. If you wish to read that for yourself in full, the Mounds Theatre chapter of that book is in Mysterious Minnesota, and you can actually go to that theatre. They do paranormal tours. They do ghost hunts there, so you can look that up and go for yourself. Some people say the footage is evidence that spirits roam the halls of the Magnolia Hotel in Texas, where a brutal murder took place in the 1800s. Erin Geddy, who owns the hotel with her husband, said her cameras captured the footage at 10 p.m. on Saturday night. The video shows a ball rolling across the floor, along with REM pods that light up. Meanwhile, a dress shifts in the upper right corner of the frame. So a breeze then, I'm guessing. Shifting balls and dresses around. There we go. The most exciting thing is watching the shadow figure enter the room. On the top left-hand corner of the door, it goes under the table, Heather.
Really? So you look at Michelle and call her Heather. Do you even know who your
my right.
Is it the pins? Is that it? Is that
me and
because
Withers from the amusement. Stop pressing that. She's put 8 pins in my head and then wonders why I'm messing my worms up.
It's a lobotomy.
There you go. A frontal lobotomy at that. I've seen one flew over the cuckoo's nest. I know what goes on. The figure is a spirit named Mrs. Reed. Look out for Mrs. Reed, who watches over the children. That is our children's room, where all of the little spirits enjoy playing because of the toys. You went into the children's toy room, didn't you? In the Palmer House in Sauk Centre?
Yes.
Didn't you get one of your best ever EVPs?
The best ever. That's been mimicked a million times.
What happened?
It was just a bunch of women. It was only six of us.
It sounds like you're talking to a
I
judge.
know.
I'm sorry, judge. It was just a bunch of women.
There was only 6 of us in the hotel, and it's before it got publicized.
Commercialized.
Yeah. And it was just us there, and we had a male voice say, "Are we dead?"
Are we dead? Yes, you are, mate. You are dead, which is very unfortunate for everyone all the way around, especially if you miss bananas and coffee. Wow. This was definitely Sweet Emma because she is the one who enjoys rolling the ball. Emma Volker is a 12-year-old girl who was killed in the hotel in the 1800s, according to Geddy, who's also an author and historian.
I don't believe it.
Well, she says she is, but I guess you have to have some books published to be an author, and you have to have some qualifications in history.
I don't believe a 12-year-old would be fascinated with rolling a ball on the floor.
I can't believe the woman claims to be a historian, but the best date she can give me is the 1800s. Surely you'd have a newspaper article and say it was the 2nd of August, 1872, wouldn't you?
Bunk.
Yes.
If you are playing the Bell, Bunk and Snort
Thank
drinking
you.
game, you are now allowed to take a shot wherever you are in the world. Pros, salute, cheers, and skull. Emma is the little girl who was murdered in her own bedroom. Oh, in 1874. That was a good guess. While she was sleeping. That's bad for business, I would suggest, in a hotel. Who's going to want to stay there? Her friend, Mrs. Helen Forst, who was also blinded in the same attack when a man, assumed to be Mrs. Faust's husband, Wilhelm Faust, struck them both with an axe. This becomes less funny now, doesn't it? Emma began showing up right after we started remodeling the hotel. Each time she would provide us with clues to help solve who the true murderer was. Despite Faust's confession, Geddy said someone else confessed to the murder. Many years later, Geddy knows of at least 20 spirits that roam the Magnolia Hotel. Rolling ball? Or I don't believe that at all. Go to our Facebook site, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee, and you can find the story for yourself in glorious Technicolor, complete with photographs. Miss Morris, what have you got for me tonight in the round of ghosts and hauntings?
A woman in England recently dialed 999 because she thought her neighbor had sent a ghost to haunt her. No, it's just a voodoo doll.
Lovely.
Yes. The bizarre incident, which occurred in the town of Haywards Heath in Sussex, England, saw the unnamed woman call the emergency services at midnight on May 22nd with a very unusual concern. She explained that she believed her neighbor had sent a ghost to her house to haunt her. The police, however, were not too amused by the call. Mid-Sussex Inspector Darren Taylor has used the incident to remind people only to dial the emergency services in the event of an actual emergency.
In the event that your Breville sandwich toaster isn't working or you've run out of bananas.
We get all kinds of weird and wonderful calls into 999.
999.
999.
Oh, blimey, Governor. It's the Rozzers, quick. Leg it.
But people need to be aware that when they call the emergency number, they are blocking people getting through who are in a real emergency. It's real.
I understand these things. A real emergency, not an imagined one.
It's absolutely key that we allow people who need the police straight away to be able to get through. Y'all.
Y'all.
High five. High five.
High five. Wow.
For non-emergency incidents, the public are advised to call 101 or email.
Strongly worded
dear
email.
sir or madam, there is currently a fire in my lounge. If you could send someone around immediately, I would be very grateful.
Expedite them.
Return. Emailing. We'll be with you next Tuesday.
And then you get, what is it, a return email from, what's that?
That auto reply.
Yeah, it says this email does not exist.
The person you are trying to contact is currently on vacation and will be back on the 3rd of July.
In the case, what they did is they went to the lady's house and they reassured her that it's not a real concern, that she's being haunted
So
by a
actually
ghost that
wasted
was
time.
sent to her.
They wasted time
Go
going
blimey.
round there.
Go blimey.
Go blimey.
Oh, it's a ghost.
Sweep my chimney.
Sweep your chimney. And this is the best lines you get on a Saturday night, is it, in London? Oh, would you sweep my chimney?
It could be a come on, you know.
Sweep, do you think? It's hardly subtle, is it? Well, I've got a brush, if that helps. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim shrew. You've got a face that belongs in the zoo. I used to have an open fireplace when I lived in London, and when I moved into the property, I wanted the chimney swept because obviously I want to use it. But I thought, well, the house was 150 years old. I don't know who the last person who used the fireplace was, so I called the chimney sweep. He turns up in a white van. I'm thinking Dick Van Dyke, right?
Oh, yeah.
He turns up looking like something from Ghostbusters. He's got like breathing apparatus, a suit on. He's got all the kit. Because apparently there's gases. Who knew? I don't remember gases when they were sending Victorian kids up chimneys back in the day.
You need a broom and a top hat.
That's what I thought. And some
And a carpet
black
bag.
fingerprints over your face. But apparently he turned up looking like some sort of military exercise with a backpack on and face breathing apparatus. He looked like Ghostbusters, to be perfectly honest with you. Not the chimney sweep I imagined in my mind. I should give you a couple of pints.
A pint? How is that voodoo doll working?
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Excellent.
I loves
A
it.
couple of pints.
Excellent.
You've got a pint sat on your table there. What's in that?
Alcohol.
I can well, I'm getting drunk through osmosis is what's taking place
You
here.
should see what we're doing to the voodoo doll.
Wow, I can see what's taking place. Thanks, Vicky. That's awesome. I'm going to let you jump in now, Michelle. You need the points. What have you got for me tonight in the round of ghosts and hauntings?
A mum has been left convinced her flat is haunted after a ghost-like figure randomly popped up in the background of a photo she had taken with pals.
Nice. Photo. If you're playing the Bell Punk and Snort drinking game, you can have your second shot of the year.
Yeah, Rebecca Glassborough, 30, says she is now unable to sleep after spotting the creepy addition to the snap after posing for the photograph with 6 of her friends who live in the same block of flats. Looking back at the picture, the group got a fright when they noticed there was what looks like another person standing behind
It's
them.
very creepy.
In the photo, a washed-out ghost-like woman with dark hair
Similar to yourself, I would think.
can be seen hovering behind the group, who are smiling and posing with drinks.
And a beret.
It's a photo that sends a shiver down your spine. It's actually quite scary, the mum of one from Coventry said of the snap. She added, "We were all like, oh, what's that? It was quite freaky. We were all a bit freaked out and looked around the room to see what we could not see." After inspecting the flat and still left with no idea what could have caused the face-like mark, Rebecca says she's been having trouble sleeping and is convinced the block of flats could be haunted.
A block of flats. What would you
Whatever.
call a block of flats in this country? It's like
Apartment building.
Yeah.
but there could be like 25 floors. They tower into the sky.
A project.
Absolutely.
She's previously heard a rumor that a woman had died in the bath of the flat where she and her friends had taken their group photo.
Red rum.
We don't know what it is. A few of us had said what we think, that it's a woman with long brown hair. There was literally nothing around us, and it just appeared in the photos. It was really weird.
Whatever.
Long brown hair, or she don't care. You decide. Go to our Facebook site. More questions and answers with Adrian Lee. I should give you a couple of soap sud slippery points, Michelle, as we enter the final story of the evening. A couple's dream countryside B&B turned into a nightmare after they heard blood-curdling screams coming from the basement. Alan and Christine Tate, 65, have been forced to auction off their haunted home for just £90,000. That's about $150,000 after being driven out of their house of horrors. The pair had grand plans to spend their retirement running a B&B in Ammanford in South Wales. Well, that's horrific, isn't it? But they have refused to step foot in their dream home for 3 years now after hearing a string of peculiar sounds. Christine said it was like a flushing noise that I first heard. So plumbing issues, I would think, unless the ghost is flushing the toilet. All things are possible. That is a rubber chicken rather than the sound of a toilet being flushed. But as you can see, we're very limited on our sound effects in this particular studio.
We're Paul.
Then we could hear a machine running, and we started to record all over the house, picking up the sounds of chains, a motorbike, and people screaming. This is teenagers. They've got teenagers.
That's Ghost Rider.
Hang on, let me think. You're getting plates mysteriously left in the sink all hours of the day and night. Alan said, I heard a woman screaming. Sexual sounds. Dogs.
That is a teenager watching a show in the other room.
Alan said, I heard a woman screaming, sexual sounds, dogs barking, a printing press, a motorbike, a car horn, and what sounds like a police siren. What a night that was!
It's Betty Hill!
Best weekend of my life. The couple bought it for an undisclosed price in 2007, but didn't start hearing noises until 2018, when a load of teenagers moved in next door. Now their horror house is at an end, as it was sold at auction. Alan said, I was sad when I put the property up for auction. I did not want to give up on what had been our planned retirement for many years, but the reality is that the house has been empty for 3 years ever since. Strange sex noises or teenage boysies.
Good God.
I love this show. Well, all good things come to an end, so let us look at tonight's scores. In last place with the K2 meter and the dead battery is myself. I scored 6, but couldn't get out of third place. Yeah, there's any wonder. That looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy, by the way. If the Pillsbury factory and the Pillsbury company suddenly go under, you know, and go into liquidation, we'll know exactly what took place. I get a rolling ball, some blunt pins, and a windy dress. So not the end of the world. I've had worse things. In second place tonight is Heather Morris,
Rob.
who got herself a nice symmetrical, rounded, bottom-heavy 8. She gets a night in a haunted Texas hotel and a lesson in doing foreign accents. Both things are really badly needed, I would suggest. In first place, oh, here we go. In first place tonight, oh, no, I've got a stabbing pain. Look at the way she's going at that, look.
In the face.
I know, it's really mean and nasty. In first place tonight with a double integer of 11 running away and winning the $33,000 IR camera is Michelle Corrie. She gets a photobombed ghost, a banana split, 2 pints, good times.
Can you feel
And
this?
Happy days. What, in my lower lumbar? Or is that going up my brown-eyed girl? Do not fear, listener. Remember, I could be back with a whole new bunch of stories next week at the same time. And I would love for you to join me for a fun and informative journey through the world of the paranormal, strange, intriguing, bizarre and weird. Please tell your friends and family about the show and feel free to contact us anytime. And remember, after this show, we're going to be live streaming an investigation from the Superman Museum in Metropolis. If you go to our site on Facebook, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee. My gratitude and thanks are extended to Heather Morris, Michelle Corrie and all at the International Paranormal Society. It just remains for me to say thank you for listening, and remember, be interested and interesting. Good night.